Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are unpacking a really fascinating psychological mystery. We're looking at the hidden psychology of people who always, without fail, arrive 10 minutes early. Now, if you're one of these people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to explore why your brain might actually be using punctuality as this brilliant, deep-seated survival strategy and what it really says about the highly unique way you process the world around you. Let's get right into it.
So tell me, have you ever felt a literal physical surge of anxiety if you aren't at least 10 minutes early to an appointment? I really want to validate that feeling for you right now because for some of us, arriving exactly on time actually feels incredibly late. It triggers this visceral panic. It's not just some passing thought. It's a full-on alarm bell ringing in your nervous system, screaming that you're behind schedule, even when the clock is telling you you're perfectly fine.
To really get this, let's contrast two very different realities. On one side, you've got the rest of the world. They're rushing in at the last possible second, spilling their coffee and profusely apologizing for being 5 minutes behind. But on the flip side, you have the early arriver. That's the person who's already there, sitting completely silently in their parked car, probably just scrolling on their phone, waiting for an acceptable time to walk in, 10 whole minutes before the clock even strikes the hour. Psychology tells us this difference isn't just about calendar management, having a good watch, or being super organized. There is something much, much deeper going on beneath the surface.
Section 1. The Arrival Anxiety Illusion and its Hidden Mechanisms. Section 2. Controlling a Chaotic World, or the brain's complete disdain for uncertainty.
You see, what looks to the outside world like a simple obsession with the clock is actually a powerful hidden mechanism. For an anxious or highly analytical mind, an unpredictable world doesn't just feel like a minor inconvenience, it feels like an active threat. The world is chaotic. Traffic is a mess, and social situations are completely unscripted. And honestly, your brain absolutely hates that. Arriving early is a brilliant way your brain fights back against that chaos. By executing step 1, which is just being there first, you immediately turn a wildly unpredictable situation into a highly predictable one. Then there's step 2. You get to choose your seat, get comfortable with the lighting and the vibe of the room. And finally, step 3, you get to observe others as they enter, rather than walking in late and being the one who's stared at. You literally take the power back.
Another major sign that you operate this way is a really fascinating cognitive habit that psychologists call constant forecasting. This is basically where your mind automatically and continually predicts potential problems before they even happen, all in an effort to reduce your overall stress. And hey, this isn't just you being a pessimist. It is a highly developed mental habit formed because your brain learned somewhere along the way that being overprepared is an absolute necessity, a true survival strategy to keep panic completely at bay.
Think about it. Before you even grab your keys to leave the house, your brain is already firing off questions at lightning speed. What could go wrong? What happens if there's traffic? What if there's a detour? What is the backup plan? Because of this rapid-fire anxiety, the mental math is pretty simple. You would rather spend 10 completely wasted minutes sitting around in a dentist's lobby than experience even one single minute of that heart-pounding, sweating panic of being behind schedule. That buffer of time is your absolute shield.
Moving on to Section 3, protecting the sensitive mind by avoiding the spotlight.
Arriving early actually acts as this invisible protective shield against sudden emotional exposure and social overload, especially for HSPs, which stands for highly sensitive people. These are individuals who naturally process sensory and emotional information way more deeply than the average person. Just think about what happens when you walk into a meeting or a party 10 minutes late. The door creaks, the conversation literally stops dead, and suddenly, boom, all eyes are on you. You instantly become the absolute center of attention. For someone whose brain processes sensory inputs so intensely, being thrust into that sudden spotlight can feel incredibly overwhelming, and sometimes even paralyzing.
So by arriving early, you're really giving yourself the gift of a slow transition. You allow yourself to merge with the environment at your own pace. You get to sit down, notice the subtle details of the space, and read the emotional cues of the people as they trickle in one by one. You get to completely acclimate to the social temperature of the room long before it gets loud and crowded. It's a remarkably brilliant and gentle strategy to prevent sensory overload.
Section 4. Keeping internal promises and proving your identity.
Let's shift our focus a little bit here to the internal relationship you have with yourself. Punctuality is deeply, intimately tied to identity formation. Psychology actually shows that one of the absolute strongest ways to build self-discipline and self-worth is to view yourself exactly as someone who keeps promises to themselves. For a lot of early arrivers, being late isn't just some minor social mistake or a faux pas. To them, it represents a profound failure of their own internal logic.
It honestly feels like breaking a promise to their own character.
Arriving early, therefore, becomes undeniable physical evidence. It is tangible proof to yourself that you are reliable, that you are trustworthy, and most importantly, that you are firmly in control of your own life. Every single time you show up 10 minutes early, you are actively providing a massive boost to your own internal sense of self-worth. You are confirming that you are exactly who you say you are.
Section 5. Hypervigilance and safe harbors. Adapting to unpredictability.
Now, sometimes this behavior goes way beyond simple organization or sensitive processing. It actually moves into the realm of profound internal drivers. Specifically, trauma-adapted behaviors that often stem from growing up or living in highly unpredictable early environments. Always being early can actually be a manifestation of hypervigilance. That's an adaptation where your nervous system is essentially stuck in a state of heightened alertness. Your brain brilliantly learned to constantly scan for changes, noticing shifts in tone or sensing potential tension in a room long before anyone else does. And your brain uses this heightened alertness as a vital, absolutely necessary safety buffer.
So when you arrive 10 minutes early, what you're doing is intentionally carving out silent time. You absolutely need those quiet moments to map the room, locate the exits, and sense any potential tension before you are forced to actually engage in conversation. It is so much more than just a polite habit. It's the specific way your mind creates a literal safe harbor for you to anchor in until the social interaction officially kicks off.
Section 6. Your hidden psychological superpower. Reframing the quirk.
So what does all of this mean for you at the end of the day? Well, for so long, early arrivers have been told they're just uptight or that they need to relax or that they just have nothing better to do. But based on the psychology we've just unpacked, we need to view this not as some stressful flaw, but as a genuinely empowering psychological strength. Arriving early is a hidden adaptation for psychological safety. I really want to reassure you right now, your mind is simply doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is working incredibly hard to protect you from stress, to help you navigate a chaotic world, and to create order out of total uncertainty.
I want to leave you with a really provocative thought to reflect on today. If your constant need to be 10 minutes early is actually a brilliant psychological shield, what other quirks do you have that are actually hidden adaptations keeping you grounded? What other everyday behaviors are secretly protecting you? Take a moment to really think about your own psychology. If you love uncovering the hidden psychology behind human behavior and you want to understand yourself and the people around you on a much deeper level, make sure to subscribe so you never miss our next explainer. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.